just got a call from one Miss Anna Reyna, and she said she is going to be getting on now. She needed a few extra minutes, when, excuse me, when you have to, you ladies, y'all know what y'all do. Y'all know what y'all have to do to look the way you want to look. So you have to put that work in. So, and that work takes time. So I definitely understand that. So whenever Miss Reyna joins me, we are going to begin part two of our conversation about spirituality. Uh, I am not going to pretend to be the expert. That is why I invited the lovely Miss Reyna to do so. So I'm going to hop off here for just a moment, and then I will hop back on once Anna joins us, and we will continue our conversation about spirituality. I was going to be outside, but if anybody knows how the weather is today, you will understand that you don't want any parts of it out there. Pretty windy outside, not nearly as nice today as it was last week at this very same time. So we decided to bring it on inside, and hey, that's what we're doing. So I guess we're going to be waiting a couple more moments on Anna. So we're just going to call this a test room, and we will be right back once. Oh, here she comes. She is in the lobby, so no need for a break. We're going to bring her right on in.
Hi.
Hello, Anna.
Hi.
Well, I'm gonna pretend like I haven't spoken to you already today. Hey, Anna, how you doing?
We're inside today.
All right, good. So we are doing the thing. We're going to jump right in. So I'm going to, but first I do want to give you a couple of moments to reintroduce yourself, and then we'll jump right on in.
Okay, let me move you over to the other side because I have a. There you go. There you go. Much easier to see you. Okay. All right. So we're ready?
Yeah.
Just go.
First take. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, I am Anna Reyna. I am a spiritual intuitive channeler and also mentor and educator. I'm a co-creator of Soulmanity, which is a spiritual and personal growth platform for awakened souls. And we also the co-creator of the Katana Institute of Spiritual Studies, where we have different educational tiers, different certifications for like energy healing and angelic life coaching as well. So yeah, been doing this for a
All
minute.
right, great. And so that people don't have to necessarily go back and rewatch last week's episode. Anna and I met, you wanted to say 20 years ago. It hasn't been quite that long, but close. I think I did the math on it. It was about 15 years ago.
Okay, 15 years. It feels like 20.
And we were brought together by one Miss Gwen Bennett Gray. Now, she got married
Yeah.
again. I didn't know if you knew
Yeah.
that. And we were doing the show called Indie Film Insider, and we did events and we had fun. And all right, fast forward, to now. I believe I hit you up, what, maybe about 3 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
said, "Hey, and I'm doing a podcast. We'd like, come on," and you so graciously said yes. And
Yes.
so now, fast forward to right this very moment, here we
Yes.
are. All right.
There we are.
Yeah. Now, so what I would like to do right now is, per our conversation
Mhm.
earlier,
Part one, the
yeah,
part one
part
part.
two, I really want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into some of the more, how we
Nice.
say, esoteric. I believe that's the correct
Yeah. Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about why you think some of the more, what we would label as esoteric practices, and are not as popular
Mhm.
in mainstream religion as they are in, say, just other forms of spirituality?
Well, I think it just kind of got lost along the way because a lot of Eastern philosophies do believe in certain types of rituals and understandings of the connection of the spiritual or, nature world, as some people want to say. But it's really, I think the Western philosophies and religions have gotten so caught up with so many distractions and our social cultural norms, and that they forget the simplistic basic foundations of what we need as humans, which is love, connection, energetic connection, as well as understanding the bigger scope of things of our own intuitive power. We have such intuitive gifts naturally within us. So I think a lot of things, not just religion, but just in our society, is used to distract us. And so we think a pill or shots or something like that can easily fix our anxiety or happiness or weight loss or this and that. And it's mostly, if you're just understanding how your energetic body works and how your energetic spiritual soul energetic body works, that a lot of that stuff can kind of heal itself in a way. So I don't know if
Okay.
that makes sense.
That was a very thoughtful answer, I think.
Yeah.
I personally believe, just as you said, many of those practices kind of fell by the wayside. And there was this little thing called those Salem witch trials. So that was, there was,
There.
I think some of the more esoteric practices may have gotten a bad rap,
Yeah.
bad reputation over the years. And so we can't uh, act like that didn't happen. But I think we also have to take into consideration the fact that I think some things are a little scary for certain people
Mhm.
who don't necessarily have as open a mind as other people.
Well,
And
wait, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
No, a lot of science is proving now a lot of these spiritual practices, like which is the beautiful part of it, because now science, we have spiritualism, we have religion, but now science is really starting to understand what the spiritual community has been saying and are now connecting the dots. So, because the science community is very skeptical. It's like, I got to see it to believe it. I got to, tangible results and things like that. And so it's very hard for them to kind of measure energy and to a certain extent. Like, how do you measure synchronicities? How do you measure deja vus? How do you measure knowing you have a natural connection to something? So it's kind of hard and it's very subjective, right? But there's other things that are very science proven, medically even proven. Like, for example, something as simple as grounding. So, grounding, a lot of people know it as earthing, where they go outside, walk barefoot on the grass, right? And you feel so good. And it's your connection to Mother Nature. People feel good when they're walking barefoot on the beach, just having that earthing feel of that connection. Or, just walking on the grass. It's a completely, you can feel that interconnection, that connection with nature. Well, it's called earthing, or what we call grounding. So what happens is we have this amazing connection with Mother Earth. Mother Earth, and you think how big Mother Earth is really has a negative ion frequency. Okay, it has a very charged negative ion frequency. Us as humans, we have a positive ion charge. So when we get overcharged or oversensitized, social media, work, family, friends, societal things are happening, and news, and we get overcharged, we get over positive. So when we take the initiative and with our attention ground to Mother Earth, or even focus on Mother Earth, her negative ion charge brings our positive ion charge to a neutral base. So when the positive and negative meet, if you become neutral, we call that ground zero, zero state, neutral state. And when you're in a neutral state, everything is balanced. Everything is calm. You don't have anxiety. You don't have fear. You don't have any of that. But it takes this intentional focus on grounding your energy to Mother Earth that allows her to help you to just calm down. Everything's going to be okay. That's why it feels good when you're walking on the beach or out taking a hike, or, you're on vacation in the Bahamas and you're looking at. That's why it all feels so good, because you have connected your energy and you're just bringing that charge is being brought down. Now, this is a practice that a lot of people in spirituality do every single day when they wake up. They connect to Mother Earth, they ground to Mother Earth before they start their day. And we call that spiritual hygiene. So, for example, what do you do when you get ready for work, right? Take a shower, comb your hair, you brush your teeth, you choose your clothing, you get yourself in a mental state, you go get your coffee. There's a certain routine that you prepare with your physical body that's going to go out there and meet the world for the day. It's the same thing. We have an energy body, we have a soul body, and our soul body has to do the exact same process. We have our spiritual hygiene. So we have to ground our energy. We have to get our aura straight, make sure our energies are
So
straight.
that very, how shall I put it? That very apropos explanation is why someone took an extra 15 minutes in hair and makeup this morning. No, I'm just
I did.
playing, I'm just
I had
playing,
a
I'm just
wardrobe
playing.
malfunction. I had a wardrobe malfunction. I did. I was like, oh, I gotta go change. But the idea of you doing it on a spiritual, even in a spiritual sense of preparing yourself for the day, grounding yourself, putting a protection, a bubble of protection around you, so you don't pick up people's negative energies. Like, it's a certain thing that you can do for yourself every day before you walk out that door, so you're not bombarded, you're not overwhelmed, you're not going crazy, you're not chasing life. It's this idea of you being in control of your reality, and you are allowing the things to happen that are more aligned with you. So that's just one simple thing that can really totally change her. It's a one of
Yeah,
those things that's so
I think
simple.
just
Yeah.
being able to, or having, or no, intentionally slowing down,
Hmm.
intentionally decompressing, intentionally being and staying in the moment is one of the things that I feel is central to reaching or just maintaining, because you know, Nirvana. Let's just say the term, or the not the band Nirvana, but just, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
reaching a stage. Um, Again, it's kind of one of those things where it's achievement, but not in a competitive
Hmm.
sense.
Hmm.
You gotta get one, because it's all about like that slowing down, that meditative thought, that let's get into a mode where we're not so stimulated outwardly, but what we're doing is we're looking within
Hmm.
for peace and calm and serenity. Does that sound
That sounds perfect. So what you have to,
like I
what you
made
have,
some sense there?
no, it's okay. Because the idea is this: as energy, we are connecting with the energy all around us. So a lot of people, real life, real talk, right? They're rushing to get the kids out the door, they're rushing to work, then they have to deal with all these work stress, and then they have to rush and pick up their kids, they have to make dinner, they have to, so it's just like boom, 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 boom. You gotta go, you gotta go. And a lot of people feel like they can't fit that slowing down anywhere in their life. But if you really look and take inventory on your life, instead of reaching for your phone for 30 minutes, just go sit outside and take some deep breaths. Instead of, like the social media aspect, like you're doom scrolling, like just put that down for 5 minutes and just go walk around the parking lot and take some deep breaths during your lunch break or your break, or, like just, limit your phone calls from people calling you with all this drama. You don't have to pick it up then. Maybe pick it up at a time where you feel a little bit more in a good position. So there's ways that you can kind of manage that a little bit better. But again, still people are really on the go, go, go. So what we like to teach is the more, overwhelmed you are, the more you feel like your life is falling apart, your inner world is the inside your energy. The outer world, right, is a reflection of your inner world. a lot of people think that the outer world stress is causing them to feel broken down inside, right? It's the other way around. Since we are the energy makers, since we are the ones who control energy, it is our inner world that is broken down and it's reflecting to our outer world. So the outer world seems
Yes.
like it's breaking down, but it's actually inside we're breaking down, whether that's depression, sadness, trauma, or built in, years of, whatever the situation you're going through. If we feel broken down inside, our outer world will be broken down. So if you heal the inner world of yourself, in whatever capacity, you'll start to see your world kind of balance out, go with more flow, and you're going to start noticing the less stress and the less chasing. But that begins with you. That begins with your inner world and inner connection. It's not the other way around. Like a lot of people are like, oh, life keeps beating me down. I can't catch a break. This broke down and that broke down. Everything's breaking down. It's like, well, no. By stopping, by slowing down, and really valuing what's important, which is your heart, your life, your soul, and fixing that first, then everything else will fall into place. That's hard. It's hard to switch it. They think like, oh,
It's almost counterintuitive because
yeah.
but I mean, I'm feeling what you're putting down right now, Anna,
Mhm.
because it's that if you've got inner turmoil, if you've got things going on, issues in your life or in your past, or
Mhm.
issues that are unresolved,
Mhm.
things that you are working on and working through on a daily basis, then of course there are going to be outer world manifestations of that.
Yep. That's
But
right.
a lot of
That-
times we don't want to necessarily recognize it because it's the outward stuff. It's the things that we can, touch, see, smell. It's the five senses things that have that type of impact that we feel is going to be determinative of our outcome.
Mhm.
It's going to be determinative of what happens when, if we take a look at it the other way, as you just so eloquently pointed out, if we resolve some of those
Mhm.
inner issues, if we resolve some of those things that are hindering us on the inside, then maybe we might have a better picture, a better outlook,
It's
better
true.
outcomes, better manifestations, if
It's
you
exactly right.
will. So,
But the thing
is
is,
it
nobody
really?
wants to look on the inside, right? Nobody wants. We
Well, I
bury
wanted to
that
ask
stuff
you,
for a
like,
reason,
sometimes is it
right?
really about how we frame it, or is it really
Yeah.
we just need to do we need to just focus on ourselves first,
Yeah.
and then I mean, come
Yeah.
on, break it down for us, Anna. And I hate
Yeah,
that that's
so
getting
the
a
thing
full
is,
chair.
it took me a long time since I'm such a nurturer and giver. So it's hard for me to put myself first. A lot of people think if I do that, I'm being selfish or I'm not being supportive or I'm not thinking of others enough, especially for a woman, especially for a mother, the kids are always first priority. So to think of for yourself is always on the back burner. It's always, I'll get to it later. I'll always, I got to get this done. So it's a hard mindset to really grasp, but the idea of the whole oxygen mess when you're on a plane, right? And it comes down and they always say, put it on yourself first so then you can put it on someone else, right? Or your child or who's ever with you. And it's true with energy, it's true with spirituality, because when you are trying to pour from an empty cup, right? It's so hard. There's nothing coming out. There's nothing you can give anyone else anymore. And then what they're getting is the worst parts of you because there's nothing else to give. That you're tired, you're anxious, you're depressed, you're overwhelmed. You don't want to give people more of that. You want to give from a full cup, a full cup of good energy and focused energy and healed energy. You want to share your light. You want to help change the world, or you want to live your life purpose to the fullest. You want to have your children see you as a strong person that you are. You want your family to, whatever the case may be, but you operate from a full cup instead of a depleted one. So that full cup of you requires the healing, the focus, the self-care, the taking the time to balance things out, so that you can show up as your highest version. So you can show up willing to give more people better help than just getting by and just being tired and just.
All righty. Anna gets the gold star today for using the buzzword self-care. All right. Let's stop messing with you.
Hold on 1 second.
Right,
I got a little. Hold on.
Okay. Let me take a sip while she's taking a moment.
I got this one nipping at my feet. Hold on.
And this is just orange soda, by the way.
Yeah.
Too early for the other stuff. All right, now. Oh, you got your little. Oh,
okay.
Come on, you done it. Because introduce.
This is Cosmos.
Oh, oh my goodness.
He's my universe.
All right, I believe the rate is going through the roof right now. Do that one more time for Cosmos.
You want to show Cosmos?
Yes.
This is Cosmos, my baby.
Ooh, oh yeah.
He's my universe.
Yes, and yes. Love it.
Hold on, let me move this stuff around so he doesn't hit it. Okay, there we go.
So we have got yet a new co-host. Gotta get them some screen time, obviously. There we go.
Right.
Now, so we've delved a little bit into some things, but I think what I want to do, I want to make that quick analogy of, pouring water into a cup. It's going to be water no matter, it's going to be water whether it's in the cup. But if you freeze it, it takes on a whole nother form, correct?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, and if you can look, we can use the other water analogy, half empty, half full.
Yeah.
So what do we need to do to help keep our glass full from a practical spiritual sense? What is it that
I think it's
practices. What is practical for folks, Anna? Come on.
So grounding is a very important thing. I know with weather and stuff, it's hard to go outside and put your feet on the ground and things like that. But just the idea of just taking your heart energy or your essence and just feeling it go down your body and connecting to Mother Earth and just kind of merging. You just take a couple of deep breaths and do that every morning. That's huge. Huge. You're using your intention to put yourself already in a balanced state. And protecting yourself from negative energies. Like you go to work, you got these toxic negative people. You have these like narcissistic bosses or coworkers and things like that. So just putting a shield of love around you, of love and light around you before you walk into work and just like, I don't want any negative energy hitting me today. Just something so simple as that. If you use your intention, anytime you say it's my intention or I am, or it's my purest intention to do something, then that energy will align with that. So because you're actually putting that out there that's what you want to do. But on a self-care side of thing, like a physical self-care, a lot of people are like, yeah, take bubble baths, or spend some time reading a book. That's all nice and good, but like I would challenge people to go get like a Reiki session where they clean out their chakras, or a different type of massage where healing is involved, or taking classes, or joining some kind of community of broadening your mind and learning how to connect with that energy. Kind of like what we provide. But the idea is to, when you talk about self-care, just don't think of your physical body. I think that's what everyone tends to go to, right? Oh, facials and pedicures. No, we have an energy body. We have two bodies. We have our physical body, which is what you see. And then we have our spiritual body, our energetic body, our soul. So both of them need just as much as intention and attention as the other. So self-care isn't just about the physical, it's about what you're feeding your soul. What can you do for your soul today? What can you do to be more aligned with your happiness, more aligned with your inner peace, more aligned with your purpose? So that's just as important.
Okay, Anna, so what you're telling me is that there may be some very attractive people running around with dirty souls? Is that or just not that they're not vibrating high, or they're is come on, let's come on.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand vibrations. We all feel that when you're happy, you're vibing high. I mean, it's not just a cliche word. You're physically vibing high. If someone was to, a scientist was to put some kind of prong on you and measure your measurements of your frequency when you're happy, it is literally vibing higher than, let's say, some other lower vibrational frequency. So your emotions, your feelings are waves of frequency, and they pretty much really determine your level of your vibrational charge, right? What you're putting out, what you're taking in. So, I mean, even sadness isn't the lowest frequency. The actual lowest emotional frequency is guilt and shame. Those are actually lower than fear and hate and anger and sadness. They have a really low frequency. So when you're around toxic and narcissistic people, you kind of sense it, don't you? You kind of sense this person's not good, or what a jerk, or whatever the case may be. And that's what I say, you have to protect yourself, because you don't want to pick any of that up. You don't want to take any of that on. But yeah, there's low vibing people, there's high vibing people. There's people who are just getting through it, but yeah, there is.
It's one of those things where you see someone like, man, they are really attractive, and then you talk to them and they speak, and you decide that, hey, maybe I don't want to hang out with this person because the vibe just is not right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you're going to make some decisions about who and how much time you spend with this person or that person, I think it should be more so based on the vibes.
Yes.
Because I think we tend to put too much emphasis on outward physical appearance, as opposed to what is this person putting out into the universe. Is this person putting out love, in good vibes?
Yeah.
Is this person going to enhance my soul in some way?
Yes,
So
that's right.
that's for me some of the questions that I want to really begin to answer before I start giving away one of my most precious commodities, and that is my time.
Yeah, your time and energy. So, so when it comes to people, I don't know if you've heard the term a narcissist, or if you've heard the term, there's a lot of people who are empaths too, which are highly sensitive people. And so I think people, when they meet someone, they want so desperately to be liked by them, or to have that connection, and they miss the red flags and they ignore their gut, because I'm sure their gut is saying, and they end up getting into a relationship or a friendship with them, and they realize it's not probably the most ideal. But I think a lot of people tend to have more of a gut reaction, and I think they tend not to follow that because they're lacking in some kind of healing or understanding or perspective about themselves and their worth. And so they decide to settle or ignore the red flags just so that they can have that validation. Yeah.
That is that's pretty much how it happens. That's pretty much how it works. Red flags are ignored because I think people still have that desire, again, to be liked, to be loved, to be paid attention to. People want that connection, and they oftentimes are willing to sacrifice or overlook certain things that could be potentially not so good down the road, to get that feeling, that satisfaction on the front end.
Yeah.
So here we go. Now in a spiritual context, is that one of those things where, because in organized religion, they're like, oh well, you got to have what, salvation, right?
Mhm.
Now, there's that, and you can only get it how, and how it works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that, I think, like I said, for me, that's kind of where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, yeah, spirituality allows that freedom of
Mhm.
me being able to live my life in the way and in a fashion that I would like to live my life without having have do what feeds and satisfies my soul without having to worry about fire, brimstone, damnation,
Well,
and
I mean, I think in spirituality, the accountability is a little different, um, versus the salvation and the brimstone and stuff like that. So, our accountability is understanding the exchanges with people, right? So we have different exchanges, and so the idea is to always bring the best of you and exchange and receive also, as well as not just giving, but that infinity flow of giving and receiving, and being in each other's presence, and just being good people, kind people. And the accountability comes when we have karma. So if we decide to hurt other people, if we decide to abuse other people in different ways, or do wrong by other people, that karma that we're putting out, doing that to someone else, will come back. That is the law of physics, that what we put out will come back. So that's there, that's always there. So that our accountability is left to us, and how we want to be good people and how we don't want to be good people. But sometimes, that saying, hurt people, it's very true. It's very true, because that's
it
where they
is.
stem that from. But there's also a saying that healed people heal people. So,
Ooh.
yeah. So that
Well,
you,
talk to us a little bit more
yeah,
about that, because what I seem to run into more often is the first
hurt
example
people.
of those
Yeah.
hurt people. So how can we
Yeah.
be more about the healing? And so let's get some more of that out into
Yeah.
the
Because
universe so that we, because I want to see more of that in our everyday lives, as I'm sure whole lot of other people do.
yes, definitely do. So so when you hurt someone, it's because you're coming from a hurt place, whether that's childhood trauma, whether that's for example, let's say someone cheated on you in a last relationship, and you felt awful and you broke up, and then in the next relationship you're scared that this person's going to cheat on you because you were cheated on before. So you start being very clingy and desperate, and overwhelming to this other person just wants to be with you, and then that overwhelmness of you pushes that person away, and then you get hurt again, and then it's this constant loop, and then you're like, screw this, I'll be the one who starts hurting people before they hurt me. And then so it's a vicious cycle of just all this perpetual hurt. And that's just relationships, not we won't even get into like family, parents, and abandonment or betrayal. And so that tends to come out when we're working with other people, or just living with other people. Now, healed people, people who have taken the time to recognize, like, wow, I can't believe I'm this insecure. I can't believe that I'm putting so much pressure on someone else to bring me happiness when I can't do it for myself. When you start to really look at yourself and understand what you're doing, and then taking the conscious efforts and trying to find the therapy, the alternative healing, the coming to those moments of releasing and letting go. What we do at the Katana Institute, we have something called subcoding, where we work with a person to go on a very subconscious level, because some of this trauma is very deep, very old, very even generational. Father was alcoholic, or their grandfather and their father. So we get to some really deep subconscious healing. A lot of people don't know that all your actions, all your thoughts, all your words, everything you do, 95% of what you do or say or act comes from your subconscious mind. It doesn't come from your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is, you not realizing what you're doing, but you're doing it because it's so habitual, like blinking, breathing, or when you're driving and you're just driving and you know how to get there, just pattern stuff. But your subconscious is what your emotions, your values, your beliefs, everything that you say is from a subconscious level. And that's where all that deep trauma lives. So the way you act and the way you talk is based on how you grew up, your beliefs, your treatment, your insecurities, things like that. So once you work in that healing process of your subconscious mind, and this is scientifically proven as well, by the way, and you heal that trauma, then that is where you're going to start looking at things differently. You won't be as triggered. You'll realize certain situations. You'll recognize the green flag or the red flags and start paying attention more to the green flags. So you'll start to become from a different perspective, and then you're going to help someone who's also hurt. Say, hey, I used to be just like that, and I went and got healing done, and it helped change my life. Let me help you with this perspective, or let me help you with this positioning. How about you look at it from a different angle? So, and then that helps the other person heal as well. So it's just like anything else. It has a ripple effect. So your healing has a ripple effect amongst the people that you meet. I mean, that's the reason why I started with the Katana Institute with Dr. Katana, was because I came from a very hurt, traumatic place. And going through that spiritual awakening and healing, I realized, wow, what a difference. If everyone was like this, the whole world would be a completely different place. And so that's when we set out our mission to help one soul at a time, just to really understand that journey a little bit better so that they can become a better light for someone else. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. Well, here is what I would like to say about that.
Yeah.
The hurt people. That is definitely a thing. I think we all know that. The healing portion, yeah, let's all work on that individually in our own lives. I think that can be done. But the one thing that I've noticed is that you you and whoever it is you're speaking with, they on some level have to be receptive,
Yes.
and that is going to be, I think, a key component as to whether they are, people say they want to
Mhm.
do better and be better, but do they want to put in the effort? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's
Yeah.
really, for me, it's about the willingness. And
Mhm.
then once you have some willingness, then I think you have to have the effort. And then once you have the effort, guess what? You need to commit to it
That's
so
right.
that it can be a long term thing. I literally just thought that up.
Yeah.
Okay, that was beyond a
No, but that's
teacher for me.
beautiful. It's a beautiful progression of the truth. There's some people you just can't talk to, you can't change, you can't open up their mind, and you're not meant to. For those type of people, they have to find that on their own. That is their life lesson. That is why they're here, is to figure that out on their own. You can only be supportive to the point where once they wake up, kind of, like once they realize and they come seeking help from you, then that's when you can be like, I have this idea if you're open up for it. I have this, strategy or this practice, or I've tried this and it helped me in the past. Maybe it can help you. But we can't change anyone. We can't force someone to wake up. We can't, as much as we love them and we want them so badly to get it, like you can't change that partner or that mother or father. It's just until they're ready to take that on themselves, because that's their journey. It's not yours. You're not there to pick up their luggage. You're not there to carry their karma. That's on them to figure out. And that's hard sometimes because it could be your child, it could be your partner, it could be your best friend. But, the healing has to come through them. The healing has to be something that they embody. It's not your healing to do, it's theirs. So you can only be supportive. And it's not meant to fight with someone or push someone away, even. It's just meant to understand that when they're ready, they'll be ready. And sometimes they might not make it, but at least you're there to be an example of what a healed person looks like, and that anyone is capable of doing. Because I know if I can heal, anyone can heal, right? Like I'm like, I've been
Mhm.
through stuff. So I know that, if anyone can do it, if I can do it, then I know anyone can do it because, of the situations and stuff. So but I'm that example of what it looks like on the other side. And I can only inspire someone to try, and only
There
can
you
only,
go. So I think it really comes down to people making that, I take that back. Let me back it up a little bit. I think it really comes down to people kind of just recognizing, where they are in life. Okay. So once you have that recognition, and then you can say, well, there's some things that, I could improve on. Uh, and this is without, it's something that has to be done on their own and on their own terms. You know what I mean? Because no one is going to seek out any type of help, or no one's going to seek to heal themselves until they feel that they're ready. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
so. I think that recognition has to be a point. It's got to be the starting point. And so once the recognition is taking place, then it's like, okay, well, what do I do, and how do I go about doing it? So you've kind of delved into some of the practices. Um, which are there any more that you want to share
yeah,
with us right now?
yeah. So when it comes to awareness, I mean, I think a lot of people, their first thought is they have to go to a psychologist or a therapist, and sometimes that's intimidating. So I really, you know, just try different alternative methods. There's different alternative methods that's more energetic alignment. So going to see even a hypnotist, or going to do what's called Reiki healing, we mentioned that, or EFT tapping. There's a certain tapping, kind of like acupuncture, but you're tapping the spots instead of the needles.
Mm-hmm.
Acupuncture is great too, don't get me wrong. That's a beautiful Eastern work practice, but there's EFT tapping where you tap certain points, energetic points on your body. We do the subconscious healing, and we call it subcoding, where we really dive to the root cause, which is the subconscious. So we do that as well. But just anything to, God, there's so many different types of healing out there. There's spinal flow right now. There's just so much. It's just what you resonate with, what's not too woo woo, or what is woo woo, or whatever. But the idea is to start connecting to the energy side of you, because the emotions, and it's not about taking another antidepressant pill or anxiety pill or anything like that. It's not even, a lot of psychologists, they have you sit there and kind of tell them your life story and have you live in the past. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about getting to the energy root cause of that trauma or that hurt, and working at that level. Okay. And that means that
Yeah, well, I
requires you to
see.
work
And,
at that level with certain
and
people.
you mentioned something earlier
Hmm.
that I wanted to touch on,
Hmm.
and that was just that the aspect of just like mm, the self care, but because they kind of work hand in hand. They do, like the
Yeah.
awareness and then the self care, because
Yeah.
that's it's kind of that you recognize that you need to be caring about yourself so that you can what then in turn care about others, because I think that it's the circle of life, if you will. You have to care about yourself first
Mhm,
before you
mhm,
can even attempt to care about
mhm,
someone else.
mhm.
So when you are um, when you're doing your self-care, you're actually doing God's work, I believe. So there you go. See how
100%.
we brought that around.
100%. 100%. Yes, God's word. Again, from part one, we talked about we being part of God, and we being, that connection there. So self-care, doing God's work. Yes, total alignment with that philosophy, and taking care of yourself. The more you are aligned and balanced, I think a lot of people don't understand this, is the more you are aligned and balanced, including your chakra system, the energetic system of you being grounded, balanced, you feel so good. And you're vibrating at such a high level, which we were talking about. and people will see that glow. You know, sometimes you go like, wow, you are glowing, you look good, like what's going on, like, and that's where we're supposed to be all the time. We're supposed to be glowing all the time. We're basically a walking antenna. We're
Yeah,
basically
it's like
a
yeah,
walking light source, you know, like,
exactly,
yeah. So
exactly.
it's that is where we're supposed to be all the time. And so the goal is to be at that level all the time. And how can I get to that level, you know, every single day? Like, where can I cut out my drama? Where can I cut out energy that's depleting me? Where can I cut out unnecessary distraction? Where can I cut out this so that I can be glowing and high vibing all the time? And it's
Okay,
hard sometimes, but
it
taking
is.
that self initiative is self care. That's self care.
All
It's
right.
self care.
So the point that you touched on a little earlier that I wanted to revisit and talk about was like people think that they can kind of shortcut certain things. You
Mm.
know, oh, I can take a pill for this. I
Mm.
can, take a pill for that. I can. Uh, there's a shortcut. There's a shorter path. Now, obviously, you know, there's a hack for us. There's a life hack. There's,
Yeah.
okay, I get that aspect of, or I get that desire to make something happen,
Mm.
quote unquote, sooner than it would have normally, or to again take a shortcut. But are there certain things about or certain aspects of spirituality that have to be taken slow, step by step?
Yes. I think the we have a program. It's our Pathways program, and it is step by step. And we made it so when people are curious, or they're waking up, or they're starting to realize there's more to life, or why am I here? There's an awakening process, so it's not so overwhelming. Because this is what a lot of people tend to call a midlife crisis, right? But it's not. It's just that you're finally just kind of waking up and looking beyond the veil, and you're starting to question some deep things. Like, there's got to be more than life than just going to work. There's got to be more than life than this grind. And so we have a program. It's called the Pathway Program. It's a 9-week program with mentorship. So we work alongside of you. But the idea is really discovering yourself and doing the deep healing and understanding your energetic connection. So the very first class, we teach you about what your life purpose is. Like, why are you here? But we have a way of figuring that what your goal and life mission really is. And then on top of that, we teach you how to ground your energy, how to protect your energy, how to hold your energy as sacred. So we teach you that. And then the next step, we teach you about how your energy is exuded out of you. So we teach you about the chakra system and the centering of who you are and the balancing. And then we get into some deep healing. We spend about 3 or 4 weeks on the deep subconscious healing, just really gutting everything out. It's kind of like a sinking ship. You throw all the stuff you don't need off, so you rise higher, you don't sink. And that's what we're doing. We're basically helping you heal all that trauma, everything that's weighing you down, everything that's confusing you, everything that's misaligning you. And we take weeks, like a few weeks there, just to really kind of walk that walk with you and help you heal. So we've been able to take people off antidepressant drugs they've been on for 20 years. We've been able to help people really understand their life journey, and they get on the right path. And we've helped people change their life so dramatically just from going through this step by step awakening process. And after the healing, we help them integrate it into their real world. Like, okay, now I've done all this work, now what, right? And so we help them integrate that, what we call high vibing fifth dimensional way of thinking, how your perspective is going to change. So how you maneuver in your life is going to be even different. And the things you're going to experience are going to be different. So we help you kind of integrate that back into your world. So, there is a good flow of things that we kind of take in, that includes everything. We call it our spiritual boot camp. So you just kind of go through that process, but it's a beautiful step-by-step program. So not only are you doing your own work, but you have mentorships and our coaches as well as us to say, like, you're okay. This is what this means. That's what that means. And and this is why this is happening. You're not going crazy. And so we're there to, step by step to help you along the way. A big thing that we push is meditation. A meditation is this connection that you have. For example, Chris, do you believe we have guardian angels? Do you believe there's angels around us or beings
Oh,
or
definitely, because I know that I'm still here. Let me put it like that. Without going into too many
somebody was
details.
looking out for you. Somebody was looking out for you.
Yeah, because there have been some situations that we are having this wonderful conversation, and God willing, and angels guarding, and we'll have another one soon, and some more down the line. But yes,
okay,
and
so
yes,
these
because
angels.
I think of all of the energy, well, because that's what we are. We're energy.
Yeah.
It never dies. It may
Right.
transform. It may.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, but it never dies.
Right.
It goes somewhere. It does something. So yes.
Yeah. Okay. So these angels, these guardian angels, they have pretty much a bird's eye view, let's just say, or front row seats, whatever you want to say, to your life. So they know what you're supposed to be doing in this life. They know where you're headed. They're able to protect you. But you can conversate with them. You can talk to them, or you can feel their presence and get their advice, or like, hey, help me here. What am I doing wrong? Or, hey, where am I supposed to be doing with my life? Or even talking to God, but having that meditative connection where you can have those kind of conversations. Now, prayer, when you pray, and these religious, organized, when you pray, you're very focused and you're very like in the moment. And that's what meditation's about. But you're spending more time asking and requesting, please help me with this, please help me with that. Lord, help me with this bill, or help me with this situation, or help me with my health. So you're in a very asking mode. Meditation is the other side of that, where it's a receiving mode. There's a second part to prayer, and that's meditation. So the prayer is putting out there your request, but the meditation is you're getting your answers back. So a lot of people say amen without waiting a little bit and waiting for the answers to come back. And so people don't really finish that process. But meditation is exactly that, is receiving information, getting the answers that you're looking for by connecting to our guardian angels, by connecting to God or source, or whatever you want to say it, and waiting for that direction to come back. So we too train people to connect that way, not just in prayer, but to connect in a meditative way, so that you can get the guidance.
I have a friend of mine who just is so into angel numbers. Can we talk about that for a second?
I would love to. So I am what you call an intuitive numerologist, intuitive angelic numerologist. So we're totally capable of tapping into your, it's kind of like your path, right? So your birthday, before you, if you want to, let's get down and dirty about the spirituality, right? So before you came to Earth, your soul wanted to enjoy a certain incarnation. So your soul said, I want to go back to Earth, but I want to enjoy what it feels like to have this kind of life, this kind of emotion, these kind of challenges, whatever the case may be. So your soul chose your parents, chose the life, chose this body, chose your outcomes, chose the relationships you're going to have, the challenges that you were going to face. It shows when you were going to leave as well, your exit points. So your soul decided this beautiful plan, this beautiful journey, talked to your guardian angels, say, hey, you're going to be there for me. The angels like, we got you. We got your plan. So, and then you came to Earth. You were birthed on Earth. Now your birthday, the day you chose the day that you were going to be here, your birthday carries all of your plans, carries all your frequencies, your vibrational DNA. So your birthday is a huge tool of where you're headed, where you're going, what you wanted to do and achieve in this lifetime. It basically has the code to your life purpose, everything. So we can decipher your birthday in a certain way. where we can learn so much about you and your life, your challenges, your strengths, as well as where you're headed, where you came from, and what you're supposed to achieve in this lifetime. So the more that you're aligned with that coding or your GPS, your internal GPS of your path, the happier you're going to be. So it's like a cheat code. Like as long as you can, stay true and abide to that, the smoother your life is going to be. So if you would like to do a live one, we can do one right now. I can do
Yes,
very
we can.
small
Yes.
one.
I was going to ask you, what are we going to do with it?
Yeah, okay. Okay, do you mind giving me
I'm
your
excited
birthday
now,
again?
like super excited.
Can you give me your birthday again? You can cut it out later if you want.
12/6/1972.
That's it. Okay, so 72, right? Okay, so hold on.
72, correct.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So your date, your month, and your year, we call those pillar numbers. Okay, this is what we call angelic numerology. So angelic numerology, the difference with that one is that we kind of added up a slightly different. This is how we were guided from our angelic team for a more accurate understanding of who you are. Okay, so so we use these 3 pillar numbers to kind of support your overall life purpose. Summation. So your vibrational DNA has a frequency of 3, a frequency of a 6, and a frequency of a 1. Those are your kind of pillar numbers. So the 3 is a vibrational frequency of an artist. So that's why you've always been attracted to the arts, entertainment. That's why you've always been really good at being in that realm, because you understand that creative frequency. A 3 frequency is meant to express themselves by their authentic truth. So the more you stay true to who you are, the more you share from that truth, the more aligned you're going to be. So a 3 is also really good at public speaking, which you're good at with these podcasts and sharing information and getting people to also share their authentic truth. So in that alignment, you're doing great. The thing is that you always have to be true to yourself. That's the challenge of this frequency, because when you're not, you actually get sick, like physically sick. Your body can't hold in that truth, because then you'll start breaking down. Your body will start breaking down, because if it doesn't express itself in its full capacity, your body can't contain it. So you can have like skin issues, because it starts coming out in your skin, like eczema, psoriasis. You'll start having autoimmune diseases like fibromyalgia, lupus, things like that. So the more true you are to who you are, the more in aligned you're going to be health-wise as well. So it's interesting, but you're doing good. You're these podcasts and you speaking your truth and being honest no matter what. Like that's going to be, but it's hard because sometimes it's scary to be honest. And maybe you're in a situation where you can't
just being, vulnerable to the point where, you're going to get some,
push.
you're going to get some backlash and stuff. And I'm here for all of that,
Yeah.
But there's a way to, deal with that too,
Yeah,
so.
Exactly right. So that's part of it's good. That's part of you is good. So you have a 6 frequency because you were born on the 6th. So the 6th frequency is what we call like the counselor. So you really like everything to be nice and smooth and diplomatic, and you're always like trying to make everyone happy, and you don't like anger or confrontation or people being mad around you. A 6 is very loving, has a really nurturing type of energy. And it's a beautiful thing because you're the calming one. You're the one that's just the mediator of just trying to make everyone's situations and stuff happy. So you love home, you love that feeling of safety. So the challenge with the 6 is that sometimes you give yourself too much away. So, and you can be taken advantage of, and people abuse that generosity, abuse that nurturing care, and it can leave you hurt a lot. You're the one that usually gets backstabbed or cheated on or robbed from in some capacity. So the 6 has to set boundaries. There's no other way around it. You have to recognize and set boundaries. Like, you don't like to look at the red flags. We were talking about red flags. You're the type of person
Yeah, we
like,
talking about red flags.
yeah, you're the type of person that likes to try to paint them green, but you can't. They're red to be red, you know, and
Red is
you
red.
try to
Red is
see the
red.
best in everyone.
And
And
purple is red.
yeah, and so, but your energy has to understand boundaries and self-care. It's really big for you, and that's great that we talked about that topic. But for your frequency makeup, that's something that's priority. It's priority.
All right. All
Uh,
right. So now let's get to the 12. Come on.
the 12 is the three. The 12 is the three.
Oh, you said 3. So that's
Okay,
yeah.
so, yeah, and the 6, and then your year is what we call a 1.
Okay.
So this is a leader frequency as well. And the leader frequency is exactly that. You are meant to help lead people in the sense of not like be this boss, look at me, boss, but lead them to see things in a different perspective, which is what you're kind of doing now. So you're saying, hey, I know of a better way. Let me show you a better way. Or hey, have you thought about this? Or have you thought about that? You're that one leader that people kind of look toward for direction and like, what do you think about things? And this is where you can really use your energy for good, because you can introduce things or show people a better way of doing things, and really motivate people into moving forward. You're the motivator. So that's the big thing about the 1. Now, if you add all your pillar numbers up, your overall purpose, your overall theme while you're here is actually the 1, which is the motivator, the leader. So you have this frequency twice in your numbers, which means you didn't achieve this in another lifetime. And so it doubled down in this lifetime. So it's this lifetime, you really have to step forward and be that kind of leader. So some of the things with the leader is most likely you're gonna have some kind of managerial role in all your careers, but it's meant for you to learn so that you can eventually have your own business, have your own platform, have your own thing, because that's truly what you are meant here to do. It's not to be a leader for someone else's company. It's meant for you to be a leader for yourself and your platform. So this whole idea of you doing the studio and the podcast, that's super aligned with what you're doing right now. So you're on track, Chris. And the thing is, you have to believe that.
Gotta kick it to another gear.
You have to believe in that for yourself. And I know it's hard when you don't see enough views coming up, or you don't get enough attention, on the platforms, or the slow grind or the build up. Sometimes it can be discouraging, but you are truly aligned with that. Like, build it and they will come. That's the idea of the 1.
That is one of I tell people all the time. You
Yeah.
have, in order to build your brand, you have to be your brand. They go hand in hand. You have to be your brand. You have to build your brand. Be your brand.
Yeah. So when we started out, we had 6 people in our group, and they were just friends. And we decided to put a group because we got tired of doing them separately, and they were asking all the same questions. It's like, you know what, we're gonna put you guys in a group. We're just gonna share in this group. And then they invited friends, and they invited friends, and then now we're up to 14,000 people, just from 6 friends. We went from our first class we ever did in person. There was only 2 people in our class. Now there's like hundreds. So it's a but we had to keep the faith and just keep going, and just knowing that the right people will find you. Your light will attract the right frequency and the right resonation, and then people will come to you. So, it can evolve and it could change. You might change your name, or you might change this, but the idea, the intention behind what you're doing is right aligned with who you are. And I know you seem happy. You seem happy doing this.
Oh, well, the thing about me is that on occasion, I will really let something bother me, but not too often. Because even if my mindset is I'm going to win anyway. I'm winning anyway. It might take longer than I thought. It might, I might go maybe down a different path to get to the destination. But I'm getting where I want to go. I am going to win. I think I posted something on Facebook the other day. I said the only scenario in which I do not win is if I don't play the game. That's the only way. That is the only way I don't win. I gotta take me out the game some way. Other than that,
Yeah.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the balance of what winning is. So don't be so egotistical that you miss the point of winning, right?
But I think, yeah,
Yeah.
but again, I was gonna say something about just that competitive aspect.
Yeah.
Not not be I'm not competitive just for competitive sake. I'm
Yeah.
competitive because I feel like that's just part of who I am, and that's part
The
of my
challenge is
journey.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
Winning is part of my journey. Got to take
Yeah.
some L's here and there too. Now I understand that,
Yeah.
but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, winning is what is happening.
That's definitely
Yeah,
a one frequency, by the way.
yeah,
the leader.
yeah.
But as long as you hold it
Well,
in
thank you,
compassion,
Anna,
value.
for that. I'm telling you, I
Yeah.
really needed that. Um,
Yeah.
just as a confirmation, number one, for the path. Um, I think sometimes we get too bogged down in the step by step. It's got to be ABC, has to be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
We Life doesn't always work like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
apparently, the universe doesn't always work like that because apparently we may not get it all right this go around.
Yeah.
So might get
Doubles down the next one. Yeah. The
so
idea when it comes to your life purpose, which is a really big part of what we do, we help people help discover that is because when you're more aligned to that, it's easier. Your road is easier. I mean, sure, you're gonna have challenges, but at least you're happy along the way. At least you feel like you're having some kind of fulfillment in your life, some kind of I'm doing good, which helps you all around. You're not going to some dead end job that you're not going to get anywhere. You're not helping anyone. So this gives you so much more fulfillment and joy in this journey. We're not all perfect, trust me. We're all going to go through those moments where we miss it. We just missed it. But the more you're in self-care, the more you meditate, the more you do all these little things, the more open you are to aligning to who you truly are and what you're meant to do. So it all goes hand in hand. It's all connected in some way.
it's,
So
and for me, it's that interconnectedness that I think we really need to kind of focus on and embrace because if we do that, I think we get at least one step closer every day because we're going to again be vibrating and feeling on such a high level and we're going to feel so good about it that we're going to want to continue to do so
yeah. So
that,
I do these readings too. So I'll send you the link if any of your listeners wants me to do a deeper one with them. I'll send you the link as well. So they can
okay,
reach out and we can do
great.
that.
So
Yeah,
that
because I do this whole
so
connection thing and we get deep and I can't do it all here, but
I know that's the thing we get. Also, all right. So once again,
yeah,
I want to because I think I'm looking at my timer. And we've
yeah,
been going at it for just over an hour. I think I jumped on just a few more minutes
yeah,
earlier than you.
yeah.
So give the people once again all your information, how they can get in touch with you, how they can become a part of the Soul Manity family, how they can get in contact
Yes,
with the Sonic
yes,
Institute. Please do
yes.
all of that good stuff
So
right now,
you
Miss Anna.
so you can go to our website, which is soulmanity101.com. So it's soul and then like humanity, but soulmanity. So SOULMANITY 101.com. And there you can see what we're about. We have classes and things as well. You can also join our community, our spiritual community. It's like-minded. It's free. It's just for people to come in there and just support each other during their spiritual journey and awakening. And there's also on the website we even have a private group. So if you want something a little bit more private and not so open to everyone, we do have a smaller private group that we get a little bit more personal with as well. And then we have classes, we have readings as well that we can do with you. So that website will kind of direct you to where you need to go. And I'll send you links for more direct pages as well.
Yeah. And once I hit that stop button, you
Yeah.
can do some more of my
Okay. Sounds good.
stuff. But nobody wants to hear all my stuff. They want to hear their stuff. But
I know. I
I
hear
know
you.
some of my stuff I obviously didn't want to hear because
Yeah.
They think I'm playing with them. They know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, folks.
This is
So
what you're supposed
just,
to be
you know,
doing.
get on board, and you can
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully
It's
maybe
true.
you can learn something.
Yeah. But you see, the thing is, you have to understand, like, since you've been putting that intention out there and vibing high, my resonation connected with you. So you had the thought or the guidance to reach out to me, and it worked out, and here we are. So trust me, once you start putting that light out, people are going to find, you're going to find your tribe, and they're going to support what you're trying to do. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
If you build it, they will come.
Right? You're the one who's going to motivate them all. And the ones that the ones that doubted you, the ones who denied you, they're going to say, "Oh my God, look at him! He's got this platform, blah blah blah." And there you go.
Well, you know what they say about the old haters.
Yeah.
If you don't have any, you're not doing anything.
That's right. That's right.
So
Right.
there you go. There it is. Right. Well, thank you,
Mhm.
Anna. We
Of course.
are going to end this right now. I'm going to try to edit it and get some good stuff to it. So we did. I think we did a pretty good job of going live, if you want to call it live, live with delay or live light. I don't know what are we calling it, but I know I'm about to press the stop button so I can do a little less editing of me just randomly talking.
It's okay. I'm gonna send you a Zoom link real quickly, and we can connect there. Okay.
Thank you.